What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show.
What's
We have
up,
a,
Alex? What's up, Michael?
What's going on, fellas?
we have a guest speaker with us today, Mike. Some of y'all may know him. He's going to go into some Cowboys talk today, and then
Yeah.
I think we're going to start off with some Commander stuff. So,
Well,
Kevin, go ahead and take it over.
yeah. I mean, first of all, everybody should be proud of me because I decided to wear something different this time. I realized that I was wearing the same shirt in the last two videos. So Alex is like, "Dude, what's up with the same?"
Why are you wearing the same outfit? Do you have clothes?
Yeah. So I took a shower. I found some other clothes. I've got the Redskins, and then I've got Washington football up here. I thought I had a commander or something, but I guess I don't. So we'll see what happens. But no, real quick, and for those of y'all that didn't see it, obviously we had some great news as Commanders fans. Is Adam Peters, who was the assistant general manager for the 49ers. He's now our general manager. I'm super excited about it. I think that's like a home run pick right there. I just wanted to say that. So we're going to talk about playoffs. Both of your teams are in it. We'll talk about that, but really there's no point in talking about next season because I think we already know who the Super Bowl champion's going to be. Let's not even talk about it. It's going to be the Commanders. So that's all I have to say about that.
Good luck.
That's good.
So, anyway.
So, what do you think about the game this week, Mike?
It's a week-to-week league. Anything can happen. Of course, I think we're the better team. But Love, he's looking pretty good. It's I don't think Aaron Rodgers can hurt us anymore. I feel good about it.
Good. Yeah, I think that Love is an interesting player. He started off hot, and then he went to the tank, and I thought he wasn't going to be. I kind of just wrote him off, and then last six games he's been the best quarterback in the league, maybe. And I have an interesting take on them. I just think that they're gonna. I think they're gonna be spunky, and they're gonna make you guys sweat a little bit, but.
I don't think it's going to be a runaway game like it was with, unfortunately, your team there, Kevin. But I think they're going to make it interesting for sure. I mean, he's been throwing some touchdowns. He's had a lot this season. So if they keep that up, it'll be interesting.
Well, let me ask this for Michael. So, I mean, look, Mike McCarthy. You guys have won 24 games in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other team that's won more games in the last 2 years is the Chiefs. But the Chiefs are, Super Bowl contenders all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pro Bowlers. You guys have more Pro Bowlers in the last 10 years than any other team. This year, you're only second to the 49ers. You're tied with the Ravens with 7 Pro Bowlers. 49ers have 9. Yes, I looked all this up. So I guess my question is, look, I mean, you guys obviously are talented and you have so much talent and you show it in the regular season. So how far do you have to get in these playoffs for Mike McCarthy to not get fired, in your opinion?
We've got to make it to the championship.
Okay.
Got to make it to the championship.
The NFC, right?
Yeah,
not the Super Bowl.
NFC. Yeah, not the Super Bowl.
No, I figured that's what you were going to say. Yeah,
we've got to make. If he doesn't make it there, he's on the hot seat. Yeah, absolutely.
You think Dak is too? If he does that, if he doesn't get,
nope.
You think he's good?
They're too committed to him.
I agree.
I mean,
he looks good. This is one of his better seasons.
I mean, he looks good, and I mean, if they're going to get rid of Dak, who the hell are they going to get? If they get, it's going to be a rebuild. It's going to be teaching another guy, unless you find some phenomenal, quarterback. But I don't know who that would be in the draft this year, and we don't have a draft pick that high unless we did some stupid trade. I just don't see that happening. So we're not getting rid of Dak.
So the reason I asked that too was I'm actually pulled up Spot Track just now. Actually, I want to share this real quick. Give me 2 seconds. Share screen. All right, here we go. Tell me if you can see it when it pops up. Can y'all see that?
Yeah,
I can see it.
All right, cool. So if you go into if you see here, like on I've got my cursor on. If you can see that. There's a potential out in his they did this intentionally when when they did the contract originally, because I think originally they weren't really super sold on like him being there 5-6 years, you know. So they set it up so they can kind of get an even split. You see, it's 61 million dead cap, 59s is cap hit next year. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that great to cut ties with him. Considering you're still going to kind of come up 2 million in the negative by getting rid of him, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
But there is an out there if they wanted to do that. Now, I don't think they should. Like I said, I think he saved any idea of them moving on from him by playing the way he did this year. If you really think about it, he's probably the MVP in most years.
Yeah.
His stats are way better than Lamar's, but he just hasn't. The games he needed to win, he got blown out. Like the
we lost to
49ers.
the Cardinals this year.
Yeah, and you lose the Cardinals, you get
Yeah.
destroyed by the Niners, the Bills beat you up, and it's like, what do you do with that? And the away record against good, like above 500 teams, that hurt him a little bit too, I think. So, but I think he's done enough to keep his job for another 1 or 2 years, because he becomes a lot cheaper in 2 years.
If he had another 11, 12 interceptions this year, we would be talking a totally different narrative. But I think he's played pretty good this year. He hasn't given up the ball. He's leading the league in touchdowns.
Yeah, touchdown passes. I think.
So, I mean, how do you're not giving that up? You know,
and he's like he's only like one of two players, I think, over 30 touchdown passes. And Love is I think Love is the other.
I know, yeah, and that was actually a surprise stat to me.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me worried for this weekend.
So I have a question: Would you have rather not won the division? And if it meant you could play the first game against the Bucks rather than the Packers?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I don't think it matters. I mean, it's a coin toss between them two teams, in my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think so too.
We lucked out winning the division. I mean, for the Eagles to lose 5 of the last 6 and to fall apart at the seams the way they did, I mean, that fell into our lap. So
they're toast.
I know. Yeah,
they're not going anywhere.
I wouldn't be surprised if they lost against Tampa this weekend. So
I wouldn't either. Actually, I'm going to pick Tampa, I think. So
I am too.
I think I'm going to pick the Eagles because I think most people want to pick Tampa. I've been thinking about that.
Convince me why.
Yeah.
Well, I think that I think that no.
Go on.
I'm having a brain fart on the quarterback. What's his name?
Hurts?
No,
Baker?
Oh, Baker Mayfield.
I think Baker's a fraud, man. I know he had an okay year. Look, they barely beat the Panthers 9-0. And really, the Panthers was about to score a touchdown, and they fumbled it in that stupid rule where it ended up being a touchback. I mean, it wasn't impressive, and he had a lot of things to play for. They won, but you think he'd come out with a lot of fire. He wants to prove the Panthers wrong. They got rid of him. He wants to make the playoffs. He got incentivized to make, obviously, more money, and he just looked flat. And I know the Eagles are reeling. They got a lot of people injured, but I just think that there's still too much talent on that side, and they're going to still surprise everybody and win.
I don't know. That sounds right. I don't know. Yeah. They did play like
was he running his ass off this weekend? I mean, was he just missing throws? I mean, whose fault was that? Was that the offensive line not giving him good protection, or was he just outright overthrown?
I don't know. I mean, when I'm thinking about the game, and I only watched it on Red Zone, so I can't really.
Yeah, me too.
But every time there was a third down, it was 3rd and 7 or 8. It was a quick route, and it was a complete pass every time. So
it's just like he was 20 for 32. You're talking about Baker, right?
Yeah.
Baker.
Yeah, he's 20 for 32, 137, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. He was sacked 3 times. 20 for 32 is not awful, but 4.3 yards and a tenth. Like if you're under 7, you're not playing good.
Yeah.
And Bryce Young only threw for 94 yards.
And he's being interviewed like, oh, how does it feel to be? I'd be like, dude, you barely won against the worst team, arguably one of the worst teams in the NFL. Like,
absolutely.
I still think the Eagles are going to win. I don't want that to happen, but
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
And what's weird about it, Michael, is as much as I hate the Cowboys, it's not even a rivalry anymore. You guys are just on a different level. You cannot help but love Dak Prescott. He's just a good dude.
I mean,
he works
come on.
hard.
He's got one of the best stories. His mom with cancer, and his brother suicide.
To be honest,
I mean, if he by the grace of God wins the Super Bowl this year, he's gonna be the face of the NFL. And if they don't run with that story, the NFL needs to rethink their marketing department.
Well, it's the Cowboys too, right?
Right,
They're like
it's
the
Cowboys,
most
so
popular team in the world.
absolutely. Yeah, you do. You're right. You gotta love Dak. So
yeah.
I think that I'm pretty certain. Like, I do think that there's like
Keith Stagg is probably like wants to murder. He's like, I can't believe you, Kevin. Because he
probably doesn't even like you being on the same stage with Mike.
Yeah, he's like, how dare you say that about our Redskins? You love Dak Prescott, but whatever. So
I do think there's a slight risk of upset alert in this game, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I just think I think Green Bay's dangerous.
Yeah.
They got nothing. Yeah. They got nothing to lose. They got nothing to play for. They're playing on house money.
Where, Alex, you got stats? I don't know, maybe in front of you. Where are their defense ranked?
Hold up, I'll get it for you. Team. So, here's another thing I saw today, just while I'm pulling this up. Jair Alexander hurt his ankle or his foot in warm-ups in practice yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Jair Alexander is a top, 10 corner. Let's see here. They are. I mean, they're ranked like 31, 32. Maybe they're middle of the pack when it comes to overall yardage given up.
Mm-hmm.
Against the pass, they're much better. They're top 10 against the pass. They're ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 9th against the pass. And then as far as points per game, which I don't put a lot of, I don't know what you call it, a lot of faith in, because anything that could be a multitude of things, kickoff returns, pick sixes. But they're also top 10 in points allowed. So they're giving up a lot of room on the ground, 130 yards a game, 128. But I worry, that's the other thing. If they're going to give up a ton of yards on the ground, are y'all actually going to commit to running the ball?
We need to. Unfortunately, Pollard is not RB1.
No,
he's not. He was a very good complimentary back.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have, and come on, he's coming off of that injury where it was a knee or ankle from last year. So I know he says that, I'm 100%, but he doesn't look like it. He doesn't look like it. We need to establish the run. We are totally focused on Dak Prescott doing his damn thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think if Alexander does play, you may be in for a big day from Ferguson and Cooks.
Yeah,
who's done a great job filling in.
Fergie has been one of my new favorite players, man. He showed me some dog especially when he played the Seahawks.
Yeah,
that was walking in them guys' faces
and shouting,
get out of it, first down.
With Adams, right in Adams' face.
Yeah, he showed me some toughness in that one. I like him now.
That was cool.
Yeah. Good news. Bleacher Report, Madden Sim had the Cowboys winning. So.
They've been pretty accurate too.
They
had Buffalo beating Miami last week and it happened. So
yeah.
It could go the same way.
I can see the Packers going full, they're going to try and they're scrappy, but I just think there's too much talent on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that's kind of what I lean on it too. I don't think that they're going to have enough. I think they're going to be, if I had to guess how the game's going to go, it's going to come out. They may even score first.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they get a little momentum.
Yeah.
7-0. You come out, get a field goal, stop them. 10-7 for you guys.
That's why I see it happen.
Yeah. 17-7. Then all of a sudden it's like a 27.
I predict we beat them by 10. We beat them by 10.
You want them to cover.
Yeah.
That's covering. They're 7.5 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I think 7.5.
Yeah. All right, y'all want to do some picks real quick, just so we can end it up pretty quick today?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll just run them down. You can kind of give me a breakdown on what you think, and then
Okay.
if you want to talk about spreads, and that's fine too. And then we'll kind of go from there. First game is Texans Browns on Saturday. You want to start, Mike?
I got the Browns.
Browns. Okay.
Yeah, Flacco's got playoff wins. He used to practice with some of the best. With a rookie quarterback for the Texans,
Yep.
I got the Browns.
Yep.
Yeah,
What do you,
Miles
Kevin?
Garrett.
I totally agree. Everything in it. His wide receivers love Flacco now too, and they're hard for him. They are definitely in sync right now.
Amari Cooper's playing his ass off.
Yeah.
I got
experience. I think I'm saying experience matters. Browns got it. I think this moment's going to be a little bit too big for Stroud. I think that their defense for the Browns is going to suffocate them. Weird stat. Since Flacco started playing, they have not run the ball that well. It's been a lot of the passing game. And you're Cooper and who's the other guy?
Is it Chubb?
Well, Chubb's out. He's been out.
Okay.
I know it's Mark Cooper, and then I'm trying to think of who their other wide receiver is, but they've been doing well. Njoku, the tight end, that's what I'm trying to think.
Tight end too.
Yeah, he's been balling out. I picked the Browns. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I think that the Texans' home field advantage isn't that good. I think it's going to be a blow. The next one is Dolphins, Kansas City. Kevin, you want to start on this one?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Okay.
No particular reason.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess the Dolphins are beat up, and I do think that matters right now. And it's going to be what, negative 20 degrees or whatever.
With a wind chill.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to go Chiefs.
Yeah.
I've got the Chiefs. Yeah, I think it's going to be cold as hell for the Miami players. I know Tua puts up some numbers, but like you said about Mayfield, I think he's a fraud.
So do I. I think he's a super fraud.
That might be an unpopular opinion.
No, it's popular in this podcast.
That's what Alex ever says, man. Yeah.
Watch the first episode. I talk about it. I think he's a fraud too, but this might surprise you. I'm going to take the Dolphins. I think that this is a good spot for them. Sand's been kicked in their face for 2 games in a row. I think that the weather is going to hurt both teams. The Dolphins are a better running team than they are. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs actually don't run the ball well, although they have Pacheco's more of the back that you're going to want in a power running game. Still, the Dolphins have that. They've got Tyreek Hill is going to be playing his butt off, trying to show his other team. And the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs. They're not the same team anymore.
They're not. Yeah. I mean,
the
Chiefs have been dropping some balls this year.
Yeah. I think it's going to be like 14-7. I think it's going to be a really low scoring game.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
If I had to bet. Now,
it's going to be windy, too. It's going to be hard to throw.
It's going to be windy. It's going to be hard to throw. I think Tua's going to struggle with that, but I think that they're going to stick to the running game for once. And if they do that, they're like 8th in EPA per rush, and they're like the number 2 rushing team in the league overall. So I just have a feeling. I don't know. I have a feeling it's a good spot for them. We'll see if it ends up that way. I could be completely wrong. Y'all are probably picking the smarter bet there.
Yep.
All right. Buffalo and Pittsburgh. I'll start with Buffalo since it's my team. This game is starting to worry me a little bit because it's going to be like gusts at 65 miles an hour. It's going to snow like a foot on Sunday, just Sunday. And it's going to be like 20 degrees outside. And this is the best way. This is the only way that Pittsburgh could beat us is in this type of game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a sludge fest. Now, we run the ball better this year than we have. And I do think that we have some magic right now. I'm going to pick us to win, of course. But I don't think we'll cover the spread. I think it's going to be like a 17-10 game.
What's the spread right now, Alex?
10.5, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a lot. But that's based on us playing in normal conditions,
Yeah.
So I do think that that's going to be one of the things that really is going to really limit in our ability and our potency on the offensive side of the ball. But I do see us winning. I just think it's going to be closer than expected. I think we would have blown them out if it was normal conditions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think, Mark?
Well, I got Buffalo.
Yeah.
Watt's out for the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I think the Steelers are lucky to be there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's true.
you know, y'all are used to the cold. Um, I don't. I think that's actually going to be in y'all's favor.
Mhm.
You know, I know Pennsylvania's still cold too, though. But you know, I got Buffalo. I just think y'all are just a better team. You know,
Yeah.
I
it's
agree.
hard to bet against Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I just think it's obvious. It's Bills are just way better. Mike Tomlin did a great job. Talk about an overachiever for a not so great team, but I think it ends here. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're lucky to be there.
yeah,
Pack Cowboys. I think were we all in consensus earlier? Cowboys.
I think so. Yeah,
I think so too. I think so too.
I said my piece.
Yeah. And then next one's Rams Lions. This is an interesting game.
I got the Rams. I know they had a slow start, but they're coming on strong late in the season. I mean, you know, you got a Super Bowl champion for a quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, I think what's the coach for the Lions?
Campbell.
Yeah, he has done a great job turning that team around. I mean, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think they're going to put up a fight, but I got the Rams.
All right. Kevin.
I was gonna say that. I mean, Michael's almost good. Changed my mind here, but no, I'm gonna go with the Lions. I do think as long as Campbell doesn't, he gets a little too aggressive. I think, and
Oh my
you know,
God. He's like a kid playing Madden with his play calls.
right? And sometimes he's a little
You
mad,
know?
and he's going to stick with that. But if he can't keep doing that, so but I think I think the Lions are going to win.
Okay.
I kind of agree. I think I originally thought the Rams had the advantage here, but I look back the last few games, the Rams haven't been all that impressive based on what they've been doing. I mean, they're okay. They've been squeaking by some teams that aren't that good.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta's out. That bothers me a little bit for the Lions. I think that this game's going to be about Goff. I think he's got to prove that they made a mistake of trading them straight up for each other.
That's right. That's right. He's going against his old team.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Stafford left, and I mean he got traded. He didn't really leave, but it still looked at as like he was supposed to be the guy, and he just never did it. And I think that this is a spot where the Lions squeak it out. I think it's going to be close. But I do think in Detroit, if this game was somewhere else, I don't know if it would be the same way.
Yeah.
But I'm picking the Lions to repeat and go play the Cowboys in Dallas next week in the division. I think that's going to be maybe if the Chiefs win and go to Buffalo, it's the same thing. Those two games are going to be the best games of the playoffs. The 2 versus 3 games are going to be awesome. And I think that's going to be fun to talk about next week.
Yeah.
So, and I'll finish Eagles Bucks. I think it's the hardest game to call. I know, you chose the Eagles, Kevin, and Mike, you chose the Bucks. So I'm probably only one here that hasn't made a real choice yet because I'm kind of on the fence. I want to go the Bucks. I really do. I don't trust Baker Mayfield. I think I like Baker. I think he's got that like spunky, like wild arm kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like I like his fire. I like that he grabbed his crotch in front of the opposing college team in college at Oklahoma, and I like all.
Yeah.
I think he's cool. I think he's a cool story, and I think he should keep his job next year. I think that the Eagles are kind of in the same spot where the Dolphins are, where like they've had sand kicked in their face for 5 weeks now, and they are looking at this game like, if we don't win, what are we really? I can see. I mean, I know they just paid Jalen Hurts, but geez, dude, like
is AJ Brown out?
Huh?
Is AJ Brown out this game?
I think he's questionable. Him and Smith are both questionable. Now I'll switch my pick if AJ Brown doesn't play. I'll flip completely, but I can't. I don't know. So I don't know. It's 3 days away.
Yeah, injury reports, man.
Yeah.
I think there's too much bulletin board stuff that the Eagles have been putting in their locker room all week because they're pissed off that the media thinks I just think there's too much stuff, and they're going to come out just swinging.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. It's a push game for me. Like if AJ doesn't play, the Bucks are winning. If AJ plays, I lean the Eagles. And we just don't know what the report's going to say on Monday morning.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think I'm probably going to go Eagles until otherwise. So I'll just stick with it and see what happens and have faith that they may be able to do something with it. I don't think the Bucs have played particularly well the last few weeks. I think the Eagles can win the game without it. So I'll hedge my bet there and go with Eagles.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Mike.
Yeah,
man.
We'll have you on again. We'll have you on again too. I got a bunch of Cowboys fans that are they're interested, and they're friends of mine too. So we can get more on next time. And if they keep going further and further, we'll bring you on. And I got a buddy that's a San Fran fan too. So if something happens, y'all meet in the middle in the NFC Championship, I'll bring you both on at the same time. We'll talk.
My wife is a San Francisco fan.
Is she? Oh gosh.
Yeah,
did you know before you married her, or is it just?
Yeah, you know. But hey, what do you do?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
My wife's a Pittsburgh fan, actually, which is funny.
Okay.
Because we're getting ready to play Pittsburgh, you know.
Yeah.
I'm slowly converting her to a Buffalo fan. Like she has a Buffalo onesie she wears and stuff, and she does root for my team. But then she gets mad at me for not rooting for her team.
Yeah.
When I need them to lose. Like if they need to lose for me to go higher, then I'm going to root for Buffalo. I'm not going to root for Pittsburgh to win a game. She doesn't understand that concept.
It's really hard for us to root for each other's team.
Yeah. Of course.
You know? Well, especially since I think that's gonna be a rivalry now that continues for a couple years. The Niners Cowboys.
That has come back. You know, that was a big one through the 90s.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
And that's when we all kind of fell in love with football, kind of thing. You know, the early 90s.
Yeah.
And I think.
So real quick before we go off, Alex, I have a question. And I was talking to my wife about this. Why are you a Buffalo fan?
No, that's a good question. So I was like 10 years old and I didn't watch sports at all. And my dad's actually not into sports, like in the least. Like he doesn't care. And you know my dad. So my dad's very just into cars and guns and cool stuff, man stuff. And my grandmother, my mother's mother, was a big sports fan, and she was a Bills fan at the time because my uncles both were friends with Jim Kelly or knew Jim Kelly. Okay. I wouldn't call them friends, but they were definitely like they got invited to events and stuff that the Kellys ran, like golf tournaments and things like that. And they were Bills fans at the time. And they're kind of my uncles were more fair weather. They're actually Jets fans, but they kind of sway back and forth. They just like football. And then that's when I started watching the Bills with her. And then I just fell in love with it. They were good at the time. It was exciting. And the same thing with the Bulls. I was a Bulls fan because Michael Jordan was so big, and she was a Bulls fan because of that. So kind of a weird story how I became that, but it's I'm nowhere near. I've only been to Buffalo twice, so it's not like I've been around it or anything.
That's cool.
But it's an interesting story. I assume Kevin's a Redskins or Commanders fan because he grew up here, and you're probably a Cowboys fan just because you like hanging on to overrated popular teams.
Okay, all right.
I'm messing. I had to bust your balls.
Okay,
it's a half Commanders podcast. I had to throw in a jab at the end.
Hey man, all right, man.
You
didn't get off that easy, did you, Mike?
Yeah. I mean, no one's probably watching these podcasts anyway, but whatever. I mean, for the 10 people, the 65 people that watched on YouTube, now they know.
Yeah, there we go. Good stuff.
I'm just messing with you, man. But I appreciate you coming on, man.
We'll touch up again.
I'll keep you on. We'll try to do.
It was good seeing you guys.
Huh?
It was good seeing you guys, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's awesome seeing you. And I know that we were kind of connected back again a couple years ago.
Yeah.
With your house stuff, and then we've kept in contact here and there. But I do appreciate you're like the second person to reach out to me to want to be on. So.
Yeah,
I love you were one of the first.
I like, love football, man. So
hell yeah,
I can talk it up any day.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, we'll have you on again, and then we'll hopefully you and I will be talking playoffs for the next 3 or 4 weeks. Hopefully,
I hope so.
It'd be great if we played each other.
Cowboys and then playoffs too. So.
We need some payback in the Super Bowl for you guys. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey, wouldn't that be something, man?
That would be something. Yeah.
Just like old times.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not 52-17 this time.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yep.
All right, guys. Enjoy the games this weekend.
Yeah, y'all too, man. See you later.